Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be using a brand new stamp set from the Greeting Farm called Little Mermaids. You guys know I wouldn't be able to resist using this stamp set. And the thing that I really love about the stamp set is that there are 4 small mermaid images. And I happen to have 3 fantastic friends, our little group of friends. We like to travel and we know each other really well. We have a thread on our phone, a texting thread. We're constantly chatting. And all 4 of us, I just thought it'd be super fun to create either a card or a home decor piece that has 4 mermaids and color each mermaid to look like each one of us. So I'm going to stamp all 4 mermaids in some French ultramarine archival ink, and I'm stamping it off first onto some scratch paper. I'm just using a sticky note, and then onto some hot press watercolor paper from Arches. I'm going to use a size 4 round paintbrush to do some painting, and I'm using some distress inks to do this. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video process and turn on some music. Haven't done this in a while. I thought you guys would enjoy it. So sit back and relax while I paint this picture. Okay, so all of the painting is pretty much done. I'm going to zoom out here and you can see my palette. This is a palette from Art Impressions. It's fantastic for smushing your ink pads on or even using some markers on the surface to pick it up and watercolor with it. I'm using my Big Shot machine to use those dies that I showed at the beginning of the video. These are the coordinating dies for the Little Mermaids stamp set from the Greeting Farm, and these are going to cut out those images perfectly. It is going to leave a little bit of a white border around the edge of the images, but in this case I think it will work to my advantage because I'm going to have these images on top of an ink blended background. For that background, I'm cutting some more Arches hot press watercolor paper, and I'm cutting to 5 by 7. I've decided at this point that it's not going to be a card, but instead I'm going to put it in a frame and put it in my craft room. So I'm going to arrange those 4 mermaids in the center just to make sure that they're going to fit on there just right. And then I'm going to put those aside and start ink blending on some different colors. This is the color Shaded Lilac, and I want it to really extend up high and quite down far on the bottom portion, because the mermaids are going to cover up the entire center area of this piece of watercolor paper. Now using tumbled glass, I'm using very, very pale colors. I want it to look very ethereal and fairy-like almost, even though these are mermaids. They are magical, of course. And then I moved on to spun sugar, and I'll finish those colors out by adding some pink up in that top corner of that area. So after I had all of the ink blending done, I moved on to a little bit of some water droplets. Just to make sure I have everything still looking pretty good and the colors are all in the right area, I checked one more time with all of those mermaids. And then I'm going to break out my Distress sprayer, and I'm going to spray some water into the palm of my hand and then let that drip down onto my ink blended surface. Distress inks are reactive with water, so I'm going to be able to use a paper towel and pick up these water droplets, and it gives a sort of bleaching effect to all of those blended areas. Once again, I'm going for that ethereal look, and I think this really lends itself to that. Use my heat tool just to dry the surface of that watercolor paper. And then I took some foam adhesive from 3M, this is just some foam tape, and added some squares behind the mermaids to adhere them. I did double up on the adhesive on a couple of the mermaids because they're overlapping the other ones that are adhered with one foam tape. So I had to double it up so that it would look right. So I doubled up that foam tape and then adhered that down onto the mermaids. So I went ahead and finished putting the foam adhesive on the other mermaids, and then they're in the exact spot where I want them. To finish off this area, I'm going to add some sequins. So I'm going to be using 2 different sizes of sequins from Darice. This is the color Crystal. It's my favorite, absolute favorite color of sequins. I'm using the 8mm and the 5mm. The thing that I love about these particular sequins is that it takes on the color of whatever's underneath it. You can see that those ones over on the left side look a little bit more purple and blue, and then over the pink area they look almost more pinkish and yellow. These are kind of like an iridescent type sequins, and they're absolutely beautiful. I love these sequins. I use them all the time. So I'm using my tweezers and also some Ranger Multi-Medium Matte to adhere the sequins down. This will hold the sequins really well. And then I'm using a clear sparkle pen from Spectrum Noir, and I'm going to add some sparkle onto some areas onto the mermaids. I did squeeze that brush or that pen off to the side and got quite a bit of glitter coming out. I wanted the glitter to be very concentrated, and so I'm dabbing on the glitter to each of these areas. Because I did all my painting with Distress inks, and like I mentioned earlier, they are reactive to water, I did want to make sure that I kind of cleaned off that tip of the brush before I moved on to the next mermaid. This makes it so the colors don't transfer between the mermaids. I had to do that for all of them, especially when I colored the top on that red and purple mermaid. The red really came off onto the brush, and I had to clean off the tip of the brush before I moved on. So after I had all that sparkle, I was pretty much done. I'm going to lift this up so you guys can see it in the light, all that sparkle and shine from the sequins. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys on Monday for another card video. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.